Hello, my name is Daryl and welcome to Safe Living. Today we're finally going to get into some discussion around home modifications and start showing some examples. But before we did, what I thought would be important is that I share three very important industry studies and trends, one by AARP, one by the National Association of Home Builders, who has the Certified CAPS program, Certified Agent in Place Professional, which I am one of them. And then the other one is from the National Kitchen and Bath Association, really from the designer's perspective as it relates, how do we modify homes for accessibility for all? So let's get going. I think it's important that I just review some of the previous videos that I've done and really get an understanding is this video is for everyone, right? So in the United States, there's 61 million adults age 18 and over with some form of disability. And if you take a picture of this QR code, it will give you some background information. And if you look at my previous videos, I'll give you a lot more detail into this. Most importantly, out of those 61 million Americans that have some form of disability, what it's really important to understand is where does it break down? And here, just high-level information, you can snap this QR code, take the information there. But 13.7% have mobility issue, 10.8% have cognitive issues, cognition issues, 6.8% with independent living disabilities, 5.9 hearing, 4.6 with vision, 3.7 self-care, which is really difficulty dressing or bathing. The next important point I want to make here is with older adults in 2018, we had 52 million. Out of those 52 million, there were 36 million falls, which caused 8 million injuries. In 2030, we're projected to bring that number up to 73 million Americans that are older, so that's age 65 and over. So there's projected to be 52 million falls and 12 million injuries. And all this detail and data is by the CDC. And why is that important? Because we begin to understand what we need to modify our home. We really want to look at fall risk because fall risk is the 7th leading cause of death amongst older adults over the age of 65. And it falls under unintentional injury, which falls are the number one reason for that. So falls fall into unintentional injury deaths, which is the 7th leading cause of adults age 65 and over. But even when you look into this detailed information from the CDC, they also talk about people with disabilities that are under even age 40 where we're having issues with fall and fall prevention. So this really impacts everybody. So whether you're a caregiver, whether you're a person with a disability, somebody living with a disability, a friend, all this information is going to be beneficial to you and you can help them by sharing this in terms of how do we prevent injuries. So let's talk about the AARP study that was recently done. And AARP, and again, this QR code, you take a picture of it, will take you to the study. It's just where we live, where we age, trends in home and community preferences for age 50 and above. And this is a recent study. So 79% of the respondents said they own their own home. 34% of those respondents recognize they need to make major physical changes to their home for them to be able to live as they get older. 25% of them plan to put on an addition or do major renovations. American adults live with others. 83% rely on each other for support. So when we look at what the trend is going forward, it's multi-generational, older people living with younger people, or even in some cases, communities of older adults moving together into a single home, so where there's support to rely on each other. 60% are married or living with a partner, 17% live alone, and 13% of these respondents said that they're a caregiver. This study was done by the NAHB, National Association of Home Builders, and specifically talks about the Remodeling Market Index survey as it questions about aging in place. So these are contractors doing work on the homes, and what do they see are the majority of their projects that they're working on, the largest ones. 94% said grab bars. There's so much to talk about in this area, and we're going to be putting together a whole series about grab bars 101. So not only do we have to worry about grab bars, but we have to worry about attachment methods, sheetrock versus tile, and then there are other standards out there for commercial and federal building, which fall under the ADA and federal safety guidelines. So we're going to get into all that later on. The next one, 82% is higher toilet. So these are 3 toilets that I had in my garage, and this one here is the standard toilet, which is 14.5 inches. This goes up to the ADA compliant. This is 17 to 17.5 inches. And this is a newer toilet on the market, which is 20 inches tall. So when we talk about higher toilets, we're going to be talking about risers. And that could be, there's risers that you can put under the toilet to lift it up. There are toilet seat risers that lift you up higher, even on there. There's elevators, lifts that lift you up and down on the toilet, depending on the height. So we have a whole section that we're going to cover as it relates to toilets. 79% want curbless showers. So this is a bathroom that I did on my one of the projects that I had done. And again, you can see this bathroom is a wet bath. So the shower is with the sink, is with the toilet. It's all one area. There is no curb here. There is no grab bars in here because it would had to be set to the height of the person. But everything behind here is set for grab bars, and we're going to talk about that in future videos. 63% responded with widening doorways. In this project here, what I ended up doing is I wanted to put in a barn door because this is actually about 37 inches wide. And what I did is I had to remove the header, actually put the new header into this 2x4 wall, resupporting all of that, moving the electric. But we're going to get into a lot more of this later on, but you can see that it clearly gives you a lot more room for walkers, wheelchairs, easy accessibility. 58% of the projects related to lighting or task lighting, and there's a lot that I'm going to cover in lighting in the future, but even in this project, this is a kitchen that I had done. To be honest, this is a house that I was actually had built for remodified for my father-in-law and hoped that he would live there. So this whole entire home is I call it a handicap accessible home that you would never know is handicap if you saw it. But in this area here, I put in 3 different zones of LED lights, and there's 14 LED lights just in the kitchen plus under counter lighting that we'll talk about later on. 49% of the projects that the NAHB are doing are ramps and lower thresholds. This is a ramp that I put in for some dear friends of mine. Again, there were 2 sets of ramps. I picked these things up on used on a marketplace. And then the other thing here is we're going to talk about thresholds. And as you can see here, there is no height differential between this tile and this wood floor, and that could relate to any door in the house, whether it's the front door, the back door, sliding doors, things like that. So we're going to talk a lot about that as well as another project. And then the last one on this slide is 33% of the respondents said they're looking to put in new full baths on the main level. And what we're really going to talk about is all the different design concepts and really what you should do to build, whether it's a safe shower, a safe bathroom, a safe kitchen, and who are the people that you need to talk to help you through these type of projects. Non-slip floors is a big one. Again, as soon as you add water to a slippery tile, you're going to run into problems. So when I was recently down in Florida looking for a house down there, I was shocked on these brand new 55 and over communities. And the big sign on the door said, "Caution, slippery floor." And when you walked into the place, it was a super high gloss tile. there are standards out there for slip differentials on floors, and we're going to get into a whole topic on that as well. 30% are saying they want to expand a half bath into a full bath on a main floor. And again, this is another project that I did. This is not a curbless shower. I took the bathtub out, and it's just about a 2-inch lip here. Here, you could either put a shower door or a curtain on this, but we'll get into that. The next area is walk-in bathtubs. Again, whether you adapt what you currently have with a kit or you rip it out and you put something in, there's a lot to talk about with that. Easy to read thermostats. This is actually in my house. I use an NKBA thermostat. This is a great, smart thermostat. And again, big controls, easy to push the buttons up and down. And then not only that, I've got the ability to control this from my phone, or even if I have a loved one that I want to maintain their thermostat from my house as a caregiver, I can do that. The other great thing, we'll talk about smart technology later, is I have 4 sensors in my house, so it tells me what the temperature difference is in one bedroom, really 2 different bedrooms upstairs, and then in the main area. So you can actually control when the heat is turned on and off by one of those zones. The last 2 items were lower kitchen counters and lower kitchen cabinets. We'll have a big discussion about that, but even as you have people that are aging, multi-generational, even for little kids, right? You want to have a lower work surface so that anybody, regardless of age or ability issues, has the ability to work at a counter at a lower level. So this was really a workspace that I put in off of it's still in the kitchen, but we'll talk about a lot of that in future videos. Now we're going to talk about the National Kitchen and Bath Association. And as I said, this is really talking about living impact design study that they did. And I have to thank both organizations for giving me these studies for free so that I can communicate this to you out there. But what this National Kitchen and Bath Association is doing is this is really aging in place or living in place or multi-generational housing and what the trends they see that are going to be in the future. So just to give you some high-level discussions, 67% of the respondents say there's a desire to age in place. 65% they wanted bathrooms that are comfortable for all ages and all generations. 59% of the kitchens also for all generations and skill levels. And easy and safety shared to meal prep and clean up. Again, multi-generational. You see where the trends are. 34% said more situations where multi-generations live in the same home. So again, this was a good quote that came out of it. Many clients are older, even if they won't admit it. The goal is to ease life's basic routines and include all structure to support future needs. And that's really what this study goes into. So let's look into this. So with them, the number one thing that they're looking at is non-slip floors and tiles, and this is through the entire home. So as I said, we're going to have a lot of discussions about this in the future. 81% said they wanted to seat in the shower or tub. This is actually my master bathroom in my home that I had redone. And here you'll see this is what we have seats in here for. But in other projects that I've done, I'll get into a lot of detail and seating variations that you can come up with. The other thing in my bathroom, as you can see, it's a curbless shower, no shower doors at all on the shower. I have glass here and here quarter, and on each side, this is my side, the right side's my side, the left side's my wife's side, but easy access. The other thing is wider doors. And here you can see this is in our bedroom. My wife and I, we close our bedroom door. We live in our home alone. But here we decided not to put a door in our bathroom, but I designed it where I could easily put on a barn door. So I wanted no obstacles at all going in and out of my bath. And there is 0 thresholds between, no transitions between. The next item was attractive hardware and grab bars. So there are so many options depending what you want to spend. You could spend very little for a basic, But if you want to get the designer series, this is the one that I actually put in my bathroom. The other thing that I have is this is an amazing toilet paper grab bar. Holds, depending on what anchors you use, can hold hundreds of pounds of weight. And then this has a lift bar with a toilet paper can go on as well. I installed these in my father-in-law's bathroom. This is a grab bar with a soap holder. Super, super strong. And then this was one that I recently put in my own bathroom, second bath, where this is a grab bar and this is an auxiliary towel rack on it. So there's so many things that we'll be able to talk about. But as I want to mention grab bars, and I mentioned previously, there's a lot to it. Attachment methods, what else is out there, and how do you safely install them. So we're going to cover that. Is actually going to be the next video we do on grab bars. So this slide here is going to cover a bunch of areas. This again is my master bath, and as you can see, this is my wife's side here. 73% they say they wanted roomy showers with handheld showers and comfort seating. So as you can see in my bathroom, I have 2 seats on here. My wife, she does have the handheld shower. It is curbless. This is non-slip floor. We have safety grab bars on each side of the wall, and we'll get into all this later on, but these are just some of the examples, and I'll go into the details of what we had to do to make this happen. 65% of the respondents said recessed LED lighting. This is one of the lights that I used in that one project house that I did, and by far this was my favorite one. But this LED light here doesn't need a can that goes in the ceiling when your electrician's running the wiring. It's very inexpensive, and not only that, you've got the ability to pick which color light that you want. So there's 3 settings on this box, and we'll get into all this later, but it's a real simple, easy, and flexible way of changing the lighting if you choose to want a different color light in your ceiling. But it's all, these lightings as well as are all dimmable. So we'll get into this later on. As you can see, lighting is a big theme amongst all these surveys. And here, the 54 of the respondents had stated that they wanted flexible lighting with dimmers, floor lighting, etc. We're going to get into a lot more discussion on this when we do a lighting series. But even here, you can see in my bathroom, this is the ceiling, obviously. I'm sitting inside the shower, but this is a light to the fan, 2 separate switches there. We have 4 lights over the mirrors. We have a LED chandelier with all LED lights in that, and another LED light that's over the toilet. And all these are controlled on dimmer as well if you need them. So we'll get into a lot more detail on lighting. The next one was heated floors and heated floors in the showers. The great thing out there is this electric radiant flooring that you can hook up is safe for inside showers and out. And it is electric, but there's also radiant heating that can be done by water. We'll talk about all that later on as options. 52% said they wanted multifunctional mirrors. This is actually in my master bath here. This is a makeup mirror with touch lighting. This only has daylight. I have other examples that I'll say that I put in another house that I had that had the 3 different light sources, very similar where we showed the daylight, incandescent light, and warm light. So you can change it there, but they're looking for multifunctional mirrors in the designs going forward. The other thing is self-cleaning toilets. I think this is absolutely a must for everybody's house. If it was up to me, it'd probably be the 3rd most important. I'd probably put in 15 of these for friends and family, but these are like bidet toilet seats. I got my first one probably about 15 years ago when I was in Hong Kong, and this was standard out there. But again, these are all controls. They wash the front, they wash the back, they dry. It's a heated seat. It's up to you what you want, and you can see it's installed right here on this toilet. It's low profile, so even with the tall toilet of 20 inches, you put this toilet lid on here, it lifts you another 1.5 inches. So in some cases, you're up at 21.5 inches off of the floor. For those people that are having difficulty getting on and off. But again, my view is people want dignity as we age or we have a disability. And I can't see why somebody would need somebody to help them wipe themselves versus having one of these. So we'll get into that in further discussion. The next item on the list was 50% said they were looking for thermostatic shower controls with presets. This is a nice to have, I think. This gets into the smart home technology. This is a relatively costly item. To set this up just for cost, this controller alone is about $600, where you can say, okay, I want my shower to be, 90, whatever you want. You want it set at 90 degrees or 100 degrees or whatever it is. Then it would actually do water mixing. This is voice control activation through Siri, through Google, through Alexa, however you want to do. But we'll get into that in later discussions. But it's important that we talk about, when we get into this, a lot of the faucet controls, you really want to go to a single controlled faucet and not a hot and a cold, because on the mixer valves, there is regulations where they're not going to allow you to have the thing super scalding hot. And the other thing is you can adjust your hot water heater to minimize and maximize the amount of hot that's coming out. So there's other ways to do it rather than spending all the money, but this is in the survey and we definitely are going to talk about it. The other item they talked about in the design concepts is they talk about adjustable height toilets. Again, we'll have a lot of discussion on toilets, but we talked about these 3 different heights. But also there is one company out there that I'm aware of that has the ability to have an adjustable, literally you push a button, it goes up and down, so you can accommodate different height requirements on there. But we'll get into that discussion as well. The next item is touch-free lighting. And again, this really comes down from motion sensors. So I put these LED lights in all my closets everywhere. My wife thinks I'm a nut, but if you look up here in the right-hand corner, there's a motion sensor, and this is it here. And what this does is it allows you, as soon as you open the door, it detects your motion. It turns the light on. As soon as you close the door, after 30 seconds, it will shut it off. So this is all we had on the survey. And I just wanted to give you some understanding of some of the projects. My goal is to create at least 100 videos of the projects that I have already done, highlighting the items and what benefits they provide. I wanted to go back to this slide one last time, and really when we look at where do we begin, I had done a video, and I recommend that if you haven't seen it, you go back and look at it. Again, I apologize that my videos are long, but they're detailed. So it's really intended for those people that want to learn and apply this knowledge. But making homes more accessible to everyone, if you click on this QR code, it will take you back to that video. So my recommendation is step 1 is go out and get a home accessibility safety assessment if someone in your home has a disability or is at risk at fall. This is covered your medical insurance, it's covered by Medicare, it's covered by Medicaid. So all you got to do is go into your doctor and say you're at a fall risk and ask for an occupational therapist to come to your home and do a safety assessment. And also on this video, it talks a lot about different other resources that you can do to help you get these done. So thank you very much for visiting and watching this program. If you want to see future videos, just please hit the subscribe and like button, and we'll see you on future videos. And please, any comments that you have, please make them in the videos. I will get back to you. If you'd like to see videos on any particular areas, I can do that because I have so much content. It's just the time that it takes to put all this out. So thanks again for watching, and look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care.